Starting the today's session, we'll have a short recap of what we learned yesterday. Then we can move on to today's session. First, let me open the file that is a pivot. I think we started with this pivot. So before creating a pivot table, two things we have to check. Could you tell me how can I jump between one sheet to another sheet? I am in sheet number 10. I want to go to the first sheet. How can I go to the first sheet straight away from here? One is you can use the shortcut key, control page up and control page down, but there is the easiest method. You can make a right click and you can go to the particular sheet. Or yesterday I think I explained this. On the bottom you can see the sheet number will be displayed. How can I get the sheet number? Right click and you can enable that sheet number. After enabling the sheet number, you can click here, sheet 13 or 14. So when you click this on the right hand side, you will get this navigation. This navigation is a new feature. Either you can do this or you can go to the view tab. Under view tab also, you can see the navigation is available. So you can click on the navigation. All the sheet name will be displayed here. You can click and you can go to the particular sheet. Okay. First session we have seen how to create a table, pivot table. Before that, you have to select a table. What is the shortcut key or what is the simplest method or easiest method to select the entire table? Control A. I think yesterday we have seen another shortcut key. Instead of Control A, it will select the entire sheet. I think Control Shift 8 or Control Asterisk is the best method. Control Shift 8 or Control Asterisk is the best method to select the entire table. Right? And first thing, before creating a pivot table, two things you have to check. One is go to the review tab. Under review tab, you have to check for the accessibility. I think yesterday we didn't have any problem here. And after that, I think we have created many sheets. There may be some problem. We'll check that. Review and I'll go to the check accessibility. Yes, in check accessibility, you can see there are some heading hard to read the text. Some text are very hard to read. The colors are not good. It's very hard to read. Click here. Which text is hard to read? I think this text. And it says better to change the font color and it's giving some other suggestion. This color is very hard to read for the audience. So we have to change the color. And second one is something merged cells. Sheet name. I didn't give a meaningful name for the sheet. Always try to have some meaningful name for the sheet. So it's giving a problem here. Rename the sheet. So we can give a rename for the sheet. So first you have to check this accessibility. You have to check the accessibility. If there is any problem in this sheet, any color problem, sheet names, merged cells, so it will check that. So for example, I'll check everything. Hard to read, I change some other color here. I'll put a different color and I'll put a simple color here, pivot table design, and I'll apply very simple colors here. This next one is missing alt text. What is that missing alt text is? When you insert a slicer, நம்ம ஸ்லைசர் டைம்லைன்னா இன்சர்ட் பண்ணியிருப்போம் இல்லையா, அதுக்கு ஃபார் த ஃபிசிக்கலி சேலஞ்ச் பீப்புள் ஹூ ஆர் நாட் ஏபிள் டு ஹூ ஆர் ஆல் யூசிங் த டச் ஸ்க்ரீனுக்கு they should get some text. That text I have missed it. For the slicer, you can see slicer. What is the slicer used for? We can give a description for this image. Same like you can give a description for this chart. So that's what it's saying, some problem. It's not a problem, but it's saying that. And merged cells. There is some merged cells in between. You have to unmerge that cells. And last one is sheet name. I didn't give a meaningful name for the sheet. I think yesterday we have created the sheet. I think let us give some name. Invoice dashboard. Now I think looks good. No issue found. You should get this message. Looks good. No issue found. Issue edume illa data clean irukku. So now you can proceed. So first, before creating the pivot table, please do check this. What you have to check? Go to the review tab. Under review tab, you have to check the accessibility. Next one we have to check is the check performance. Yesterday when I checked the performance, there is no issue. But let me click on the check performance today. Yes, there is some problem here. Out of 1,61,475 cells, in 2,133, yesterday we didn't do, but there is some problem here. Unknowingly, it would have created some problem here. So where is that problem? 02. Click on 02. In 02, in which sheet, which cell, Y9 to LW11, there is some problem. Click on this. I think yesterday we created the pivot table. While creating the pivot table, something in column wise I have dragged and dropped into row wise. So this was not deleted properly. The data seriya delete agala. You have to clean it up. So similarly EX02. This data also not deleted properly. and this data also not deleted properly. So it has to be deleted properly here. Unknowingly this will happen. So please optimize it. Optimize sheet or optimize the file. I selected optimize sheet. Yes. Now your sheet is optimized. Now your workbook performance will be good. So please, before creating the pivot table, please do check these two things. Which two things you have to check is, one is the check accessibility, second one is check performance. Then place the cursor on the table and we have created a pivot table. Go to the insert tab. Under insert tab, you have to click on pivot table. Straight away, if you are going to create a pivot table based on this table, you can go to insert, pivot, and or else you can get, there is an arrow mark where we will be having 3 or 4 option. Table range, external data source. This is from Power Query, and we have one more option, Power BI. From Power BI also you can create a report if you have the Power BI installed on your system. So we selected this table range and we say OK. A new sheet will be created. On a new sheet you will create a report, but I'm not going to create it now. So let me click on cancel. New sheet or existing sheet. Please do not select this add data model. Now I say cancel, OK, and what will happen on a new sheet? It will create a pivot. This is the area where we can create a pivot table. Right hand side your column headings are there. Fields is used for multiple reports. Column is used for comparison of the data. Row is used for row wise data, and sigma values is used for summarizing. Yesterday we created region wise, sales channel wise. So drag the region into rows, sales channels also into rows. And we have dragged the cross margin into sigma values. After this, suppose instead of the count, I want an average, I want the maximum, I want the minimum. How can I change the formula is right click and you can go to summarize value by and you can change your formulas. And similarly, I want to add one more time. I change the count into sum, average into sum or sum into count. Once again, you have to drag and drop and bring it here. Like this, many times you can drag and drop and you can change the formulas. And I want the region in a separate column, sales channel in a separate column. So you have to go to design. First one is subtotal, you can put it onto the bottom and report grand total. Sometimes you can switch off the grand total. Report layout. I always recommend the report layout should be in tabular form. Very good. And repeat the item label. The item label will get repeated. Blank rows. Every item is completed. You will get a blank line like this. And row headers, column headers, and coloring, everything we can do. But do we have to do this for each and every pivot table? Over pivot table in Pandama, not required. You can make this as a default to all my pivot table. Could you tell me how can I make this as default to all my pivot table? File. Very good. Then options. Then data. Under data, you can see there is an option called as edit default layout. When you click on edit default layout, you can set the default here. Always show the subtotal on the bottom of the group, and grand total should be on, and the report layout should be in tabular form, and repeat item label, and I say okay, this will appear default for all my pivot table. Fine. And even we have seen how to change the percentage also. Right click, show value as. You can change into percentage of grand total, percentage of parent total. And even you can create your own formula like this. How to create our own formula? Analyze, under analyze, field items and sets, calculated field. So click on calculated field, or we have a shortcut key for this also. Shortcut key is Control Shift plus. This is the shortcut key where we can create the calculated field. Yesterday we created this field. Tax value, 18% of my margin. We have created this field. Now, could you tell me how can I rearrange my data here? I want the south region should come on the top, north region should come on the second top. How do we rearrange it? One is using the mouse, you can drag and drop. Second one is just to go there and type it. Third one is you can make a right click and there is an option called as move up or move down. But whenever you make some changes on your table, your pivot table will not get updated. We have to refresh it. How can I refresh it? You can make a right click and refresh. Alt F5 refresh. But I want this refresh should happen automatically. In Power Query, we have an option called as schedule refresh. But in pivot table, right click, go to pivot table option. Under pivot table option, you have something called as data. Under data, there is an option called as refresh data when opening the file. Whenever the file is opened, the pivot table will get refreshed automatically. Okay. Then after this, I think you have created some pivot tables. You have created some pivot table like this. I think supplier wise, purchase coordinator wise, what is the count, what is the average, what is the sum, what is the percentage, procurement commission. You have created some pivot. Then we have created some pivot table by yearly, quarterly, monthly, year wise, month wise, quarter wise, day wise. And we can compare it by year and month. If you want a comparison, you can put the years in a column and month in a rows. You can make a comparison report. Under show value as, I think we have did so many things. Show value as show value as percentage of difference from percentage, running total we have seen. And how can you make it as a weekly report? Is right click and you can go to group. Under group you have to remove everything and change the days and change the number of days to 7, so that you will get a weekly report. And later we have seen how to put a slicer like this. We can add some slicer. Analyze, insert slicer, you can add slicer. Even you can add your timeline also. You can add the timeline. But I want to send this report to all the cities, all the states, all the location I want to send the report. So what do you have to do? First you have to drag the location into the filter area. Then after dragging it, go to the analyze. Under analyze, we have an option. Under option, there is an option called a show report filter pages. If I click this and if I say OK, it will create a report filter pages. You can see for Hosur, Salem, Vijayanagar, Visakhapatnam, it has created a separate report. After this, then we have created some pivot table. For example, I want to create product wise yearly sum of a total amount. We have did it. After this, I want only the top 5 or top 10 product. Could you tell me how can I get the top 10 products here? Right click, then filter. Under filter, we have an option called as top 10, where we can change top 10, bottom 10, top 5 or whatever. Then we have seen how to make a aging analysis like this. 1 to 7 days. Right click, group, starting, ending and gap. So we have created the aging analysis here. After creating the aging analysis, finally what we did is we have created a slicer. When I click on central, all the reports should get filtered for the central. So we can make a right click on this and go to report connection, and you can connect both the table. Which table? The 13 and 18. What are all the tables available in the sheet? We can connect it. Then say OK. If you click on central, both the table will get filtered. If you click on main, both the table will get filtered. Regional, both the table will get filtered. Like this, I think you have created some dashboards. You have created this top 10 customer wise yearly sum of invoice amount, and you have created some aging analysis also, 1 to 30 days, 30 to 60 days, and we can connect it. If I click on Bangalore, both the tables should get filtered. So we have seen two types of grouping. One is the number grouping, 1 to 30, 30 to 60. Another one is date grouping, yearly, monthly, weekly. And finally, you have created this type of grouping also, text grouping. Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, I want to group it as South, then North, then West. Similarly, payment status also you can group it. Suppose I don't want a particular data from my pivot table. How can I remove this particular data from my pivot table? Control minus. Then we can connect it. Suppose someone wants to see only this report. My head or someone is asking, 150 to 180 days, this much invoices total is pending. Can you show me these details? I want to see these details. So you can make a double click on it, or you can make a right click and you can see there is an option called as show details. On a separate sheet, it will show you the details of it. So like this, double click or show details, you can get the details in some other sheet. So this is what we have learned in pivot. After pivot is over, then we have seen about Power Query. In Power Query, there are 4 types of workflows. Could you tell me what is the 4 types of workflow? What is the first workflow? First, what we have to do? Get the data. From where we can get the data? Any data source in the world. Second one, after getting the data, we have to transform the data. Where can I transform the data? Transformation can be done under Power Query. After transforming, you have to load the data. Where can I load the data? Either you can load the data into an Excel table, or we can have the data in Power Query itself. Finally, we have to create a report for this data. To create a report, where we can create a report, one is we can create a report under pivot, another one is you can create a report through a Power Pivot also. Okay, yesterday we have seen a data where there are so many empty rows, empty columns, empty cells. We have to clean up and we have to load this data. So what we did is opened a new file and we have gone to the data. Under data, we gone to the get data, from file, from Excel workbook, and we have to go to the navigator and we have to select that particular file. I think yesterday we started with this revenue analysis and I say import. It will open a screen, a navigator screen. Under the navigator screen, you will be getting three options. Select the table, you will be getting three options: load, transform, and cancel. I always prefer to go with transform. So you have to click on transform. It will land into Power Query. But as I told, in Power Query, you cannot come back to Excel. After doing all the concept in Power Query only, you can come back to Excel. In Power Query, we have to check four things. First one is you have to check whether there is a green. Second one, we have to check whether your heading is correct. Third one, you have to check is whether your data type is right. Fourth one is remove the unwanted. If you want to remove the unwanted columns, unwanted cells. First, how do I know whether my data is green or gray? On the below the column heading, there is a green or gray appearing. When you place the cursor over this green or gray, it says 973 data are valid, 27 data are empty. The reason is 973 plus 27 put together, it checks only with the first 1000 rows. But I want to check with the entire data set. How can I check with the entire data set here? You have to click here on the bottom, column proofing based on the 1000 rows. We have to click here and we have to make it as entire data set. So now it will check with the entire data set. And I don't want to place the cursor and check it. I want this valid how much and error how much should appear automatically. So you can go to the view tab. Under view tab, there is a checkbox called as column quality. Similarly, you can check your column profile also. If you select the column profile, it will show you how many rows, how many cells are there, and which is the highest and which is the lowest, alphabetically which is first, alphabetically which is last. On the right hand side, you can see something will appear, query settings. Whatever you do, query settings will note down all your steps. All your steps, Power Query will note it down. So anytime you can undo the steps, anytime you can redo the steps also. How long this query settings will be available is lifelong it will be available. Now, how can I remove this empty cells? What is the best method for removing the empty rows? Go to Home tab. Under Home tab, we have an option called as Remove Rows. Under Remove Rows, we can see there is an option Remove Blank Rows. All the blank rows will get deleted. Now, I want to promote this heading and you can see the steps is applied here. You can rename the steps, and if you don't want the steps, you can undo the step. Another one is I want to know how was my data before the step. How was my data after the step? So you can go to previous step and you can check how was my step, and you can come to the next step also and you can check how was my. If I do undo, what will happen? Before undo, what will happen? Okay. Then, how can I promote the heading? I want this to be the heading, this to be the heading of my table. How can I promote the heading? Use first row as the header. And it promotes the heading. Another thing it has done is, it has automatically converted your data type here. Date has been converted, number has been converted, text has been converted. If Power Query is not converting, you can go to transform and we can manually detect the data type. Today we will use this. Manual detect data type. Still Power Query is not converting. You can go here and you can change your data type also. Fine. Now, what is the best method for removing the unwanted? There are so many empty columns. I want to remove the unwanted columns. Instead of removing the unwanted column, the best method is select the wanted column. How can I do that? Home tab. Under Home tab, you have an option called as Choose Column. Under Choose Column, you can select whatever the column you want. Whatever the column you don't want, you can uncheck it. All the columns which you don't want, you can uncheck that column. Say OK. But unknowingly, I checked some columns. I want that column back. How can I get back my column? Unknowingly, I removed that column from my selection. I want it back again. How can I get it back again? On this applied step, there is a settings gear symbol. If I click on the gear symbol, last step you can edit. Last steps can be edited here. And the last one is wherever the payment mode is null, I want to replace it with something called as pending. Right click and go to replace value. Wherever we have null, it has to be replaced with pending here. So like this, we have cleaned up the table. Now we have to load the table. So go to Home tab. Don't straight away click on Close and Load. Instead of that, you have to click on Close and Load to. After clicking on Close and Load to, 4 options are available. Table, pivot table report, pivot chart, only connection, new sheet, add this data model. Tell me which has to be done here. Only create connection. Then I can click on OK. You have to select this option also, add this data to the data model. And I say OK. Yes. Now this data will be added to your data model. On the right hand side, you can see the query connection is available where your data is uploaded here. Unknowing, you can place the cursor and you can see your data here. How your data, whether the data is uploaded properly. But unknowingly, if you are close to the query connection, you can go to the data and click on query connection. Now, how can I go back to my Power Query now? I want to go back to Power Query and I want to make some changes in Power Query. How can I do that? Just go here and you can make a double click on it, which will go to Power Query, method number 1. Method number 2 is you can make a right click and you can go to Edit or go to Data, Get Data, Power Query Editor. Or you can use the shortcut key Alt F12, which will go to Power Query. Now, how can I create a report based on this? Go to Insert, go to Pivot Table, and straight away you should not click on Pivot Table. There is an arrow mark available. Under the arrow mark, there is an option called as From Data Model. If I say OK and OK, now you can create a pivot. For example, I want customer type wise. What is the sum of total amount or net profit? If you want to create a chart, that's also very simple. Go to Insert, Pivot Chart, Pivot Chart. Here, use data model. It automatically selects the data model. Now, I want region-wise means I can put the region into axis and total amount or anything into sigma values here. Okay. But whenever you modify the data on your source, your pivot has to be refreshed. Go to data and click on refresh. But I want the refresh should happen automatically. So go to data, query connection. Under query connection, you can see right click. There is an option available called as properties. Under properties, you can select this one. Refresh data every 50 minutes, 60 minutes, 10 minutes. You can change your schedule refresh also. Enable fast load will refresh only the last data. Without selecting that, entire data will get refreshed. But while loading the data, I forgot to select that only connection at data model. Load பண்ணும்போது நான் data model அந்த இது select பண்ண மறந்துட்டேன். என்ன பண்ணலாம்? We have an option right click and there is an option called as load to available here. இங்க இருக்கு பாருங்க. Load to. Here you can change it. Only connection at data model. But I don't like to create a 3 or 4 pivot tables. So I want only one pivot table. For example, region-wise, state-wise, city-wise. I don't want to create multiple chart or multiple pivot. One pivot table, I want to display everything. For this, first we have to create a hierarchy. Where can I or how can I create an hierarchy? Hierarchy enga create pannu? Power pivot. But the power pivot will not be available by default here. Now it's available, but default it may not be available. How can I activate it? File, options, then add-ins. Under add-ins, instead of Excel add-ins, you have to go with COM add-ins and click on Go. Under Go, you have to select the Power Pivot here. And say OK, the Power Pivot is updated. Now go to Manage. Under Manage, you can click on to the, how can I create that hierarchy here? Diagram view. And which you want it as a top hierarchy, there you have to make a right click. For example, region I want it on the top, right click, create hierarchy. And you can give a name for it. Now I'm not giving a name. And bringing the state below this hierarchy, first region, then state, then I bring the city also. That's all. After creating the hierarchy, close this and I come to Excel. Let us create a chart, insert, pivot chart, okay. Based on what you are going to create a report, based on that hierarchy which you have created. Hierarchy 1 and which you want it as total, sum or whatever, total amount. Now what is the advantage and what is the purposes? Suppose I want to see the South region data. Just make a double click on the South region. Under South region, it shows state wise. Double click on state, it shows city wise. Drill up, drill up, drill up. Or you can do one more thing also, this plus and minus. You can click on plus, where it will increase. Plus, it will increase. Minus, minus, it will decrease here. So like this, not only pivot, you can create a pivot table chart or even you can create a pivot table also. Pivot table from data model. Okay. For example, I want to bring this hierarchy 1 to the rows and I will bring the total amount or net profit into sigma. One thing is, you can suppose I want to see the north region data, double click on north. Under north, it shows what are all the state wise. Double click on state, it will show city wise. Right click, drill up. So you can see there is an option, drill up. Right click, drill up. Or you can expand it here. East, under east, what are all the states? Under states, what are all the cities? Okay. So this is what we have learned yesterday. I think you have did a task based on this. Then you have created some report also. So this is what we have completed. I think the entire 7-8 hours we have just recapped within half an hour. Just a short recap. I hope if my memory is right, I hope we have recapped everything. So before going to the next session, so today the entire day we are going to spend time on this Power Query. So many advantages are available in Power Query. As I indicated yesterday itself, if you started using Power Query, you will never come back. I've seen in so many companies, they have started using Power Query, they will never come back to Excel. You can do everything in Power Query itself. Power Query was introduced in the year of 2010. From 2010, Power Query is available. 16 years, we already lost. So, after this training program, please try to use it. Already 16 years is gone. Inimelum waste pannadinga. Try to use this Power Query as much as possible. If there is the easiest way, why to struggle a lot? Okay, so try to use this. So tell me, before going to today's session, any question? Today we are going to see about first unpivoting. There is a concept called as unpivoting. So we are going to start with that unpivoting. First we will start with unpivot. What is unpivot? I will explain. Then we are going to see how to consolidate multiple sheets. Consolidate multiple sheets, multiple files, identical, non-identical, and lookup. Without writing lookup, how can I get? Lookup what is next level. In lookup, you can find one column matching with another column. Suppose there is no matching one column, there is matching 2 or 3 columns. Yes, we can do that. Unmatching also you can find it here. For example, a material is delivered, still we didn't make an invoice. Invoice is done, still the material was not delivered. So like this, unmatching also, which is not possible in XLOOKUP or VLOOKUP. That are all the things we are going to see. Then combining multiple sheets also, multiple files, multiple sheets, combining of multiple sheets and multiple files. So these are all the concepts which we are going to learn today. Without writing and if functions, logical functions, so many functions, without writing formulas. All these things we are going to do without writing formula. Okay? Done? Clear? Sir? Power BI? Okay. சரி பார்ப்போம் சார். இப்போ பவர் பிரேக் தேவைப்படாது, அப்படி லஞ்ச் பிரேக் அப்புறம் தான். இப்போதைக்கு பவர் கோரி யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கங்க. வில் செக் இந்த ஆஃப்டர்நூன் டீ பிரேக் லஞ்ச் பிரேக்ல. ஓகே. Right. Any other questions, doubts, queries before moving on to today's session? Yes? Clear? Shall we move on? Very good. Now, let us start. I think still 6 we have completed yesterday. Now we'll start with 7. Employee benefits cost. There is a table available. Please open that sheet. In the sheet, there is a table available where I can see employee ID, employee name, department. So in this department, we have some employee benefits, medical, transport, meals, insurance, training, PF, contribution. Actually, these are all unknowingly they have typed this as a heading. This should not be the heading. Suppose I want to know overall for HR department what is the medical expenses, or overall for the finance department what total benefits. For the finance department, what is the total benefits? Or for a particular person, Ravi Shankar, what is the total benefits we have given? So we cannot create a report based on this because this cannot be a title of your data. Most of the data, not only in your companies, many companies I have seen, they are typing this as a title. It should not be a title. Sometimes they are putting like this, a title. Sometimes month name, year name as a title. Month name, year name, a title. That should not be the title. That should be a data. And sometimes the customer name, company name is a title. Don't do. That's not a title. So how this data should be is, the data original now. Employee number, employee name, department, and medical. So there should be a row called as medical. And maybe there is a column heading, benefits. Benefits should be the column heading. Below benefits, medical, what is the cost? 4,500. Same employee, E001, Arun Kumar HR, transport is 2,500. So it should be in row wise. It should be in row wise. So this data is not a proper data. I have seen most of the companies, they are not maintaining the data like this. They are maintaining like this. It should be converted into a proper data. To convert it manually, I can say it's very, very, very tough, or it's impossible also. But we can do it very easily using this Power Query. I think I have seen this, most of the company, they have saved lots of time by doing this. Let us do this. Now let me close this file and I'll do it in a new file. I don't want to disturb this data. I will put it into a new file. So tell me, how can I close a file? Control W. And let me open a fresh new file. Let me open the fresh new file. Control N. Now tell me, I want to get this data. What could be my first step? I think third time we are going to do this today or from yesterday. Data. Under data, we have to go to get data. Under get data, from file, from Excel workbook. Same thing what we did yesterday. We are doing the same thing now. Data, get data, from file, from Excel workbook. As I indicated yesterday itself, if you have any questions, doubts, queries, stop me, ask me there itself. It can be any sorts of doubt, basic doubt, silly doubt. No doubt in the world can be silly or basics. Doubt is a doubt. Any doubt, stop me, ask me there itself. I can repeat it any number of times. Right? Person who asks doubt, fool for that moment. Person who doesn't ask doubt, fool forever. சந்தேகம் கேட்குறவங்க அந்த சமயத்தில் முட்டாள், சந்தேகம் கேட்குறவங்க எப்பயுமே முட்டாள் தான். So don't do that. Don't have the doubts on mind. Clarify it immediately, because as I believe this is a very powerful feature. If you start using it, it helps a lot. I have seen in so many companies it is helping a lot. So let us go to that file and I am going to select that file, employee benefit cost. So let me do that. Data, I think by today evening you would have been well versed. The Power Query you would have been well versed. You would have practiced more and more and more. The third time we are going to use this. Get data, from file, from Excel workbook, employee benefit cost, import. Yes. What could be my next step? But transform is not activated. Select the data, then we have to go for transform. Okay. So let me go to the transform. It lands to Power Query. Now, as usual, make it as a practice, make it as a habit. Check 3 things. You have to check for the 3 things. What are all the 3 things to be checked? whether your data is green. I think my data is green here. Whether your heading is correct. I think the heading is also correct. And whether your data type is correct. Yes, the data type is also correct. So employee ID is ABC, employee name is ABC, department is ABC, medical expense is 123, transport is 123, meals is 123, everything is 123. Pakka. So no need. My data is clean. But the data is not organized properly. I want to convert this data into a proper data. So there are two methods. Actually, what should we have is, we should have 5 columns. First 3 columns is no problem. Employee ID, employee name, fine. And I need one more column. That column should show me the benefits. What is the benefit? The benefit is a medical or a transport or a meal. Second one is, what is the cost? For medical, what is the cost? For transport, what is the cost? Meals what? So you should have only 5 columns. Your data should not be like this. It has to be converted into proper data. Yes. So first leave first 3 columns. First 3 columns, no problem. Perfectly correct. Select other than the 3 columns, select the other columns. Other than first 3 columns, select the other columns. Select this fourth column, and go to the right side. Select the fourth column, go to the right side, last. There are 2 methods. I will explain both the methods. Go to the last and select that last column. Hold the shift key and select this last column. So from 4 till end, it will get selected automatically. I repeat it again. I think it's very simple. How do we do it in Excel also? Same thing we can do it in Excel. Select the first column. Click on the first column. Scroll and go to the last column. Shift key and select that last column. Click the last column. So from 4 till the end, it will get selected. From 4 till end. Okay. So this is one method. I will explain one more method also. This is one method. After selecting this, now go to the tab called as transform. Go to the tab of transform. Under the tab of transform, when you go to the transform tab, unpivot columns. There is an option called as unpivot columns. Click on the arrow mark of the unpivot columns. Unpivot columns, unpivot other columns. Unpivot column means the column which you have selected should be unpivoted. It should be converted into proper table. Or unpivot only the selected column. Other columns means other than the selected columns. Another method. I will explain that method in another few minutes. Now let me click on unpivot columns. Or you go for unpivot only selected columns. Both are same. So let me click on unpivot columns. That's all. Your table has been converted into a proper table now. You can see, as I told, only 5 columns. This is for the first person, Arun Kumar HR medical, what is the expenses? Arun Kumar HR transport. Now if you filter, if you sort, you can create a report very easily. This is one method. If you are okay with this method, you can go for it. Suppose I'm not okay, because selection is very tough for me. I have to select 50, 60, 100 columns. It's very tough. Is there any other easiest method? Yes. How can I undo the steps? Last step, I don't want it. How can I undo it? There is a into mark here. Undo it. Now what I will do it? I will do in a reverse method. So instead of selecting the first column to the last column, because that column is too big, I will select the first 3 columns. Modal 3 columns select panikinga. First 3 column is correct actually, but I am going to use it in a reverse method. Select first 3 columns. Go to transform. Click on the arrow mark of the unpivot columns. Then unpivot other columns. Very good, sir. Super. In the columns other than this column, all the other columns to be converted. This column is correct, so no need to do it. Either select this column and go for unpivot, or reverse. Select the first 3 columns and go for unpivot other columns. I think this is much easier compared to the earlier one. So let me go to unpivot other columns. Yes. Now it has turned into a proper data here. So now let me give a name for this column. What is this medical trend? These are all the benefits. So double click on the column heading or right click and go for rename. Right click and go to rename or double click, and these are all the employee benefits. Yes. No, this will not be row to column. The transpose will convert everything into a different data. If you try it in Excel, the transpose is different. Transpose will convert the rows into columns. But here the heading, everything has turned into a proper column. If you use transport, everything will turn into it. Correct. It is not a data, sir. It's a report. That's a report. But if you want to make that as a chart, it's not possible. Because that's already a report. But here, if you do this, you can create a report, you can create a chart. Suppose I want to know what is the total of what is the total of medical cost. Everything you can do it here. But there you cannot do it. As I told, the heading should not be your data value. Something like benefits. Sometimes the month name is on the top. Month name should not be the top. Month name should be your data. Year name should be on the top. Year name should be not the title. Year should be your data. So customer name should not be the title. So customer name should be your data. Title should be customer name. Below that you should have the customer names. So that's what people are making a mistake. Product name should not be a title. Product name should be your data. So that's what people are making. It goes like a column wise. It should not be column wise. It should be in row wise. These are all the ways. If you are able to create a report, then it's okay. But that's a report actually. That's a pivot. Like they have created a pivot table. It's not a correct method. So you have to convert as a product. Comes with the experience. We'll see another 2 or 3 also. Now, next one is, I will rename it and I will give a name called as amount. So don't have more columns. Try to have more rows. Because columns, if you're putting more and more columns, it's not a right data. So when you have more rows, that's a right data. Here you can see I have more rows. So now it's very easy to create a report based on this. Let us create a report and check. I made a double click and I given a name for it, employee benefits. And I made a double click and I given a name called as amount. Okay, now let us create small report and check. I will create a small report and check. Before that, could you tell me how can I load this data into Excel? I want to load this data into Excel. You have to tell me what I have to do now. So I have cleaned up the data. Yes, go to home, then close and load. Click on close and load to, then table. Only create connection. Add this data to the data model. From now, I will not say you have to do this. Make it as a habit. Make it as a practice. You have to make this as a practice. Make this as a habit from now. Next time, I will not say. The third time you are using it. Another 10 times you will be using it. Sometimes this add to data model may not be required. I will tell you when. So now, only create connection. Add this data model. Okay. Now, I want to create a report. Any report. Suppose I want to know all the total of the benefits. What is the overall total? So let us create a small report and check. So department wise, I want to know what is the total amount. Department wise, I want to know what is the total amount. I want to create a small report. Before that, let me close this table. Close the query and connection. Go to insert. Pivot table or pivot chart. That's your wish. Pivot table. Then from table, from data model, very good. Then okay, expand it. Now what is the report you want? For example, department wise, I want to know what is the total amount. So let me put the department into rows, amount into sigma. So each department, what is the sum of total benefits? Each department wise. So admin, what is the total cost? Engineering, what is the total cost? Finance, HR, IT. So like this, you can create a report. If you have converted your data into a proper data, any type of report, you can create it. Now, department wise, under department wise, I want the employee benefit wise. So let us drag the employee benefit into rows. So admin department, accident insurance, what is the total? Bonus, what is the total? Certification, child care, overall for it. But that earlier table, you cannot create a report like this. In my report charts, you cannot. Just I created a report and check whether it's working fine or not. Yes. Like this, any type of reports you can create. You can play with this. Let me put the department name into columns. Yes. Now I can see a better report. So each benefit wise, each department wise, what is the total? So like this, you can create any sorts of reports. Actually, that report money, that's not a right one. You have to convert your data into a proper report format like this. So you can create any sorts of report like this if you have converted the data into a proper data. Okay. File, save as, browse, file, save as, browse. Let us give some name for it. Employee benefit cost with the Power Query. Okay. So we have given a name for this also. So if the data is not properly organized, you should not have the heading. The data should be converted. Don't have more columns, try to have more rows. So instead of columns, try to have more rows and convert it as a proper data. We'll see one more examples also after this. And then we'll see about the consolidation. That's a very important chapter of consolidating multiple sheets, multiple files. That's our next chapter. After this, that's next chapter is consolidation. Okay. So
this data, original data we can delete, we can extract the next process, right?
you cannot delete the data. Which data you want to delete?
Previous 075.
No, that is linked. Based on the data only this is created. You cannot delete it.
Is it not getting saved as this as it?
No. It is linked actually. That's why whenever you add it, we get refresh, it will get updated here. You should not delete it. That's your source. Here it's in Excel. It can be in Excel, CSV, it can be SAP, Oracle also. So don't delete the data. That's your base. From that only you are fetching the data here. So don't delete the data. It should be there. And here that there is no data. We have created only connection. There is a connection between the data. So don't delete it. Okay? Yes. It will get updated. We'll try that. 1 minute, sir. I will come, sir. Let me go to employee benefit cost. I'm going to this employee benefit cost. Maybe I'm going to add one more extra column here. Some extra column. One column I'm going to add here. Some extra column.
It means no need to change the source format.
Format. It will be as it is.
Same format.
Your report will work 100%.
Sometimes we download this format only from EBS. So we can save this format only every month.
And do the Power Query and just next add the data, it will get updated. That's what I'm going to do now. Let me add a new data. What is new data I can add? I will put sample itself. Some sample. I'm adding some sample here. I'm adding some sample data. Maybe some dummy data. 100, 200, something. 100, 200, and I double click 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, something. Some dummy data I have added here on my source table. Employee benefit cost, I have added some dummy data here. One more extra column has been created, or one employee name also can be created at the bottom. That also can be done. You can add another department name, another column name, and you can add it. So I have added one column here called a sample. Let me check whether it's working. I save this and I closed this. Saved it and I closed it. And opened that employee benefit with the PQ. Enable content. So I opened it. Now we have this accident insurance bonus. Here there should be sample. So what I will do, go to pivot table analyze, click on refresh. So go to pivot table analyze, click on refresh. When you click on refresh, it should get updated. It's taking some time. Sample. Sorry. Yes. The sample is available here. Where is that? It's available here. So I'll go to Power Query. Why it's showing a number? Let me check. I don't know, my data type may be a problem. Let me check. I think it's getting updated here. Let me go to data, query connection. You can see 50 rows has been added here. 50 rows has been added automatically. So the one small problem happened for me is this data type, I didn't change it. I think I loaded without changing this. Still it's ABC123. If Power Query is converting ABC123, okay. If Power Query is not converting, can you tell me how can I convert this data type? It's ABC123. It should be 123 actually. So Power Query is not converting. What can I do now? That is third method. Before that, you can do one more thing. I told you that's third. First Power Query will convert. I told you give a second chance to Power Query. Go to transform. There is an option called as detect data type. Yes. Now it is very clear. This I should have did it before loading it, but okay, no problem. Yes. Now I think my pivot table should work. Let me put the amount into sigma here. Yes. We got the total of sample here. That's what that 1, 2, 3 has to be changed there. Power Query la ABC bala 1, 2, 3 in Martin. Go back to Power Query. Data. Alt F12. Go to get data. Go to launch Power Query editor. That's what I did it just now. Select this column, amount column. See whether that is ABC123. It should not be ABC123. It should be 123. Transform, detect data type. Transform, detect data type. If it is already 123, no problem. It will automatically give you the sum.
Suppose in here, unpivoted other columns be selected here. In case unpivoted selected columns means we need to select again once again.
All the columns.
No, we are reset only, we are sample columns now.
That also. But what we did is correct. Unpivot other column, because if you add the new column also, it will get updated. That's the best one.
That is the best one.
Correct. Because if you add the column, once again you have to select and you have to go for unpivot. Correct.
This is the best option.
Best. Easy and best. We'll do one more example also. If you want, we can try with another example in the next session also. Right? So, as you told, just add the data and leave it. But could you tell me, I don't want to update it every time. I want this pivot table to be updated automatically every 10 minutes. I want this pivot table, or every 1 hour this pivot table should get updated automatically. What can I do now? Tell me, what can I do now? I want my pivot table to update automatically. Data, query connection, then right click on this and go for properties. Under properties, there is an option, refresh every. Already I told this twice or thrice, no problem. When you use it more frequently, when you started practicing it, it will come. Okay? Don't worry, you will see furthermore other examples. As I told, by today evening, you will get well versed on this. Let me save this file and I close this file. We'll take a break. We'll see one more example of unpivoting. After that, we'll see about the consolidation of pivots after the break. I pause the video recording. Before going to the consolidation feature, let me open the next file, city month-wise. There is something called as city month-wise. When I open this, Once again, you can see year, month. City names are on the title. City name should not be the title. City name should be only your data. And these are all, assume these are all the sales amount. That should be your data. So actually, I want you to get this data, transform the data and convert it into a proper data. That is, I should have only 4 columns: year, month, and one column called as city, another column called as amount. So we should get only 4 columns here. Transform this column, get and transform the column, convert it, unpivot into a proper column here. The sheet number 08. 08. This 08, you have to get it, transform it, get and transform. Using unpivot, convert the data into a proper table. Using unpivot, convert into a proper table here. Convert into a proper table. So where we should have only 4 columns. First column is year, and there should be another column, that is month. There should be another column called as city name. One more column, that is amount. So I need only 4 columns like this. You should get the output as 4 columns here. So get and transform the data. After transforming, convert the data into proper data. We should get only 4 columns. 4 column தான் இருக்கணும். Yes, I will come. Yes. Okay. Now, let me do this. I open a new Excel file, Control N. 4th time we are doing this. Data, get data from file, from Excel workbook. Select that file, city month wise, import. Select that year, month, city data, transform it. I didn't ask you to load it, but some people have loaded it. After you have loaded it also, please come back to Power Query again Now, what is the easiest method? I want only 4 columns: year, month, city name, and amount. So, what is the best method? Is select the year and month. Select year and month. Go to transform. Then unpivot columns. Unpivot other columns. This is the best way to do it. Now, let me give a name for this. This is my city name. And this is amount, sales amount. Now, another thing which we are going to do, please who have loaded into Excel, come back to Power Query again. Now, what I want to do is, now I want to furthermore make it as a simple one, easiest one. That is, I want only 3 columns now. How much your data properly, then report is very easier. Now, what I want to do is, this year and month, which is in a separate column, I want to combine this year and month and I want to make it as something like sales date, so that I can create yearly, when I drill down, quarterly, monthly report. So yesterday we did it. Year, below year we have month, below month we have quarter, month. That much I want to report. So I want to combine these 2 cells together, 2 columns together, and I want to make it as sales date. In Excel, we have to struggle for this. We have to use some concatenation function, ampersand function. But in Power Query, it's very easy. First, select the order how you want that output. Means, how is your table, how is your Excel, how is your date. First, I have the date, then I have the month, then I have the year. So, first I have month, then year. So, select the month first and then year next. If it is date, month, year, first date, month, year. If your system is in MDY, select month, date, year. But here I have only 2 columns. Select first month, then year. And now, today afternoon, we are going to use more on this. So, please understand this concept. In the concept, nalla purinjikkunga. Now, month and year, I want to combine. Month plus year, I want to combine and I want to output in some other area. That's one method. Or I can combine month and year and I can get it in same column here. I don't want the extra column. I can get it in same column. So, second method. For this, if you want to write a formula in Excel Power Query, there are 2 methods to write the formula. One is, when you go to the tab called as transform, you can see formula. One transform. Under transform, you can see text. These are all the text formulas. Combining text, separating text. These are all numerical formulas. Adding, multiplying, dividing, rounding, scientific. These are all the date formulas. So, under transform, you can see, if you want to write formulas, 3 types of formula. Text formula, number formula, date formula. Same 3 formulas are available when you go to add column. Add column, under add column also, you have text formula and date formula and we have number formula. So, 3 formulas are. So, 2 areas you can write the formula. The formula is 2 areas. One transform, one add. I will tell you what transform will do, what add will do. Transform, what will happen is, it will combine this year and month and it will consolidate it in 1 column. 2 is equal to 1. That is transform. But when you go to add column, what will happen is, year plus month, it will create an extra column here. 2 plus 1, 3. That is add column. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 plus 1, 4. 4 plus 1. I have 4 columns plus 1 column, 5. That's add column. 4 column merged into 1 column. That is transform column. 2 are column, 3 are column, 4, 5, 10, 100, even 1 column also. 1 plus 1, 2 plus 1, or 1 is equal to 1, 2 is equal to 1, 3 is equal to 1, 4 is equal to 1, means you have to go for transform. Okay. Now, what I want is, I want to combine year and month and I want to make it as 1 column called as sales date. Not new column, I want to make it as 1 column. So, I want only 3 columns here. 1 column is sales date, another one is city, another one is amount. So, I want to combine these 2 columns and make it as 1 column. The combine money, one column. So, tell me where can I go? Can I go to add or transform? Transform. Super. So, add means it creates an extra column. It may increase your file size. When we can add it, quantity into sales, I want to multiply. Q1 plus Q2 I want to add. In that case, I think we can go for add column. Otherwise, transform is better. What you said is correct. Go to transform. Under transform, you can see there is an option called as merge columns. Merge columns. Go to transform, merge columns. I want to merge these two columns. Click on merge columns. And it's asking, while merging, what is the separator you want? After month, what is the separator? Whether you want a dot or whether you want a whatever you want. You want a colon, comma, equal, semicolon, space, tab. But in my system, I think after the month and date, I have an hyphen. So unfortunately, hyphen is not in the list. So what I can do? Custom. And what is that separator is? Hyphen. The two column will be merged into one column. What could be the name of that column? You can give some name here. Or later also you can come there and double click and you can rename it also. Sales amount. Sorry, sales date. That's it. Say OK. That's all. Now you can see it has created one column. Sales date. 2 is equal to 1, not 2 plus 1. 2 is equal. This is not possible in Excel. Excel is panna mudiyadhu. You cannot do it in Excel. 2 plus 1 is possible. That also you had to use so many ampersand, concatenation, double quotes, hyphen. So many things has to be done in Excel. But that will create an extra separate column, not in the same column. Okay, now still. Tell me, can I load this to Excel now? Can I load it to Excel? I have clicked. Why no? Super. Very good. What he said is correct. This data type, sales date, should be date. Then only I can create yearly, monthly report. If it is not in a date, I cannot create yearly, monthly report. So what I can do now? So tell me, how can I convert this into a proper date form? Power Query is not converting. First chance I have given, Power Query is not converting. So what can I do now? Very good. Go to transform. Detect data type. Superb. Very good. Detect data type. If this is not working, then we'll take the third step. Upper third step. First we'll try this. Detect data type. Excellent. Power Query has automatically, it says one on the first date work. That's okay. That's okay. That's not a problem. Column also, you can place the cursor on this cell. If you have selected this column, it will check only with the column. If you selected all the three, and we can detect also. Proper illana. But all the other true are proper. So I am selecting only this and detecting. You can select the entire sheet and detect it also. Okay? Month, date, year. Okay. No. Here.
Sir, change how can I use it?
Direct data type.
All
First month the Sales date. Okay. So you can see the proper very big data we have converted into very simple easiest form of table. ரொம்ப ஈஸியா சிம்பிளான ஒரு ஃபார்மேட்டா கொண்டு வந்துருக்கு. This is the best way to create a report. Now let me check whether this report is working fine. Go to home tab again, close and load, close and load to. I think we are doing it for the fourth time. Close and load to. Once again only or you can put it as a table. If you want it as a table, you can do that also. But Excel, the data is too large. Million, billion, trillions, Excel will not handle. That's why I'm not putting it in Excel. Add to data model. Okay. Let me create a small report and check. I want to check yearly, city-wise. What is the sum of total amount? Yearly, city-wise. So let me query connection. Just for checking, I'm doing it. Insert, pivot table, from data model. Okay. Yearly. So sales date. I think year is very lesser. So put it into columns. City, I'll put it into rows. Amount, I'll put it into sigma. Yes. We got a correct report. Yearly, city-wise, sum of sales amount. Because you already loaded it. So when you go now, that close and load may not be there. Only one time the close and load will appear. If you want to do the loading, then you have to do it only here. Right click, load to. Here only you can change that. How can I find top 10 here? I want top 10 cities. Right click on the city name. Filter. Top 10. So we got top 10 city for every yearly city wise. We are converted into proper data. Then we created a report now. Okay. File. Save as. Browse. Zero 08 city wise with PQ. Just for my reference, I am just adding that PQ. To know that this table is with Power Query. You can give your own names. Any name you can here. That's your own wish. The next important feature. Let me close this file. Control W. I believe we have completed 8. Let us open 9. Admin operations. I open this admin operations. I have 4 sheets. 4 sheets. And 4 sheets is I'm getting it from 4 different departments. All department I'm getting this data. First, the transport department is giving some sheet. What is the department name? What is the location? Request date, month, request year, request ID, who is the requester, service type, priority, vendor name, amount and expenditure. This one sheet I'm getting it from particular department. Or once one location or once 1 month I get a separate table, one sheet I got a separate table here. And facility department is giving another sheet here. There is a small difference between transport and facility department. Could you tell me what is the difference? There is a small change. Any change? Any idea? Transport and facility, there is a small change. Expenditure and amount columns are interchanged. இங்க பாருங்களேன் இங்க in transport the expenditure in column L amount is column K. When you go to the facility அப்படியே interchange ஆயிருக்கு. So it is KL. It has changed. And another change. When I go to the admin department, I can see one more change. No expenditure column. Expenditure or column illa. There is no expenditure in admin column. When I go to the security table sheet, there is also no security expenditure column. And one small change is these first two columns have interchanged. You can see the location. Here we have the location. Here we have the department. In earlier sheet, department is first and location is next. So some columns are interchanged. And some new columns are there. Sila table one column irukku, some table that column is not available. So now we are going to consolidate all these 4 sheet and we have to make it as one sheet. I want to know department wise what is the sum of amount. All the 4 departments put together: transport, facility, admin, security. I can get it from departments, I can get it from different location, I can get it from different customer, different supplier, different vendor. I want to consolidate and I want to make it as one sheet now. Tell me, forget about Power Query. Normally, how can I do this? Normally, எப்படி பண்ணுவோம்? How can I consolidate 4 sheets and make it? Normally, how do we do it? Separate Excel sheet, copy and paste it. But before that, you should organize that column. Columns are interchanged. Very good.
Reorganize the column and
Correct. Super. What he said is correct. That's what we do normally. Create a separate sheet, organize the column always, and copy and paste and get it as new column. Yes, you can do it. But the problem is this data will get accumulated. This data is available till August 7th. Suppose new data is updating. 8th, 9th, 10th. New data, they will update a new data here. So, for example, transport department, they will update a new data here. And facility department also will update the new data. So, every time I cannot copy, paste, organize the table, copy, paste. It's very complicated. But let lifetime, only once we are going to consolidate it. Next time, add the data, it will get updated automatically. That's what we are going to do now. So, let me close this file because I don't want to disturb the source. Let me close the file as usual. Open a new file. Control N. I opened a new file. This file, I want to consolidate it and bring all the 4 files together into one file. I think 5th time we are doing this. Data, get data from file, from Excel workbook. Get data from Excel workbook, select that file. Employee, admin operations, admin operations, import. Admin operations, I click on import. Now tell me, what is the easiest method to select all the 4 sheets? Here I have 4 sheets, okay. Suppose I have 20 sheets. I want to consolidate all the 20 sheets. How can I select 20 or 30 sheets here? Select multiple items. Okay, then do you want to check all the 20 sheets? 4 sheets means I can 4 times I can make a tick mark. Suppose 20 times I cannot make a tick mark. So what you do is, don't go to the left hand side checkbox. Don't go here. Don't go to the left hand side checkbox. Click somewhere else outside the checkbox. Should be velila. Don't click here. For example, I select this admin. I selected admin. Don't click on the checkbox. Click on admin. Hold the shift key. Select transport. That's all. All the 4 sheets will get selected. It can be 4, it can be 40, it can be 100 also. All the 4 sheets will get selected now. So don't go to the checkbox and do it. Why I am saying this is, suppose if I go here, assume I am going to the checkbox and I tick it, hold the shift key and tick it, you can see one checkbox is getting removed. So it's not selecting properly. That's why I told you don't go to the checkbox, click somewhere else outside. Somewhere else outside, shift key, select transport. Okay? Select all the 4. It can be 4, 40, 50, 100, any number of options. Then, what could be my next step? Transform. Now there are two options available. You tell me which could be the best one. Rendu option irukku. You tell me which is the best one. So now place the cursor on any one of the table. Either you can place the cursor on admin, facility, security, transport. Any one of the department you can place the cursor. Then go to the home tab. Go to the home tab. Under home tab, when you go to the home tab, under the home tab, there is a separate group, maybe next to 1 hour, 2 hours, even more than that. We are going to work on these three features: merge query, append query, combine files. Maybe merge query, we are going to take more time, maybe more than 1 hour we will be using that merge query. Now, I think we are going with append query. So go to this append query, click on append query. Two options are available under append query. Append query as new. What this will do is, if I select append query, what will happen? My cursor is in admin. Below admin, the facility will get appended. Below facility, the security will get appended. Below security, the transport will get appended. Ordering you can change. For example, first I want transport, then I want facility. That's your wish. But everything will get updated below admin. Below admin. Because my cursor is at admin. And cursor admin la irukkarnala admin department kide ellam poi add aidum. All the three. But that ordering you can change. Which is first, which is second. That ordering we can change. This is append query. But what this append query as new will do is, it will create a separate table. On the table, admin will get appended, then facility will get appended, then security will get appended, then transport will get appended. But once again, the ordering you can change, which is first, which is second, which is third, that you can change. But everything will be getting appended on a new sheet. So when I go for append query as new, tell me which is best here. Append query as new. Very good. Because if I add everything below admin, I don't know which is my master data, which is my source data. So better, what you said is correct, append query as new. I think it's very simple, it's very straightforward. I think you can tell me the step after this. அப்புறம் நீங்களே ஸ்டெப்ஸ் சொல்லலாம். Append query as new. What is my next step? No. 3 or more tables. Very good. Admin is already appended because my cursor is there. Now select the next 3 departments. Shift key. Select facility, shift key, select transport. Or if you have 20 sheets also, select all the 20 sheets. But what will happen if I unknowingly selected admin, it will throw an error. No, it will get appended. For example, unknowingly I selected all the 4 sheets and go for add. Admin is appended 2 times. So what I can do? Select here. There is an option available here. We can remove it. So we can remove this. As I told, we can reorder it. I want the transport should come on the first. Facility should come on third. Like this means you can move upwards and downwards here. There is move up and move down. Will it make any difference on my reporting? Not at all. Just for our convenience, I want this on first, this on second. இதனால உங்க ரிப்போர்ட்டிங்ல உங்க டேட்டால ஒன்றும் சேஞ்சஸ் வரும். Nothing changes. It will be in order. That's all. So you can arrange it. If you don't want, you can remove it. Or if you forget to add, you can select it and you can add it now also. I think all the 4 sheets, we have added it here. That's all. That's all. It's very simple. Now say OK. Yes, you can see it has created a new sheet called as append one, where all the 4 departments would have been added here. But how do I know whether all the 4 department has been updated? Just to scroll down and check. First admin, then I have facilities, then I have security, then I have transport. But if the data is very small, you can scroll and check. Suppose my data is too large. Admin department, I have 1 lakh rows. Security department, I have 2 lakh rows. How can I check it? Very simple. Go to the department name here. Click on the filter of that. Under filter, you can see all the 4 departments are available here. So all the 4 department has been consolidated into one sheet. Manually, I can say it's very, very, very tough to do it. But after this, assume I forgot to add one department. Or now I don't want one department to be consolidated. The fourth department, I don't want one department. I want to remove it from my consolidation. Or I forgot to add it. Now I want to add it. What can I do now? Now I want to add one department, or now I want to remove one department. How can I do that? On the query settings of this append one, on the query settings, you can see this applied steps. The gear symbol of the applied steps. If I click on the gear symbol of the applied steps, you can see the last step, you can edit it. Suppose you forgot to add one department. Now I don't want it. I want to remove it. You can remove it now. Anytime you can come back and you can add and you can remove it. Let us give some meaningful name for this append one. I double click or right click and I rename it. Maybe I'll say all department wise. Some meaningful name. Your wish. After consolidation also, you have to check for the column quality. First in admin department, when I check, I don't know, I have checked it actually. There is no problem. All are greens and heading is correct. When I check on the facility also, heading is correct and all are green. Security department also, heading is correct, all are green. Transport department also, heading is correct, all are green. But when I go to the all department, now I am asking you to check this again. Why? Yes, the expenditure column, there is a gray. Why there is a gray? There are some table department where there is no expenditure or column. So that table, what would have happened is wherever there is no expenditure, it has filled with null. So if there is an extra column, it will create an extra column and it will replace with null. That is what will happen if there is an extra column. So now what I want is, I don't want this null. Instead of the null, we have to replace it with 0. So that when I create a report, it's easy for me. Right click, replace value, null null. Null can be replaced with 0. You cannot type a number text here. It will throw away error. Why? Because this column is number format. You cannot put a text here. Text will not allow here. So you have to put as 0. So wherever there is a null, replace it with 0. Don't load it, because before loading we have to do one very important concept. But I want you to try one concept here. In this all department wise, combine day, month, year into one column. I want you to combine day, month, year into one column called as request date. So combine all the three, date, month, year, combine it into one column. That column name is request date. Yes, please. Just now, last session I did it, or we did it. Combine 3 columns and make it as one column. That first date, that column should be the date data. It's not in the date data. That's not the best way. That's the best customer data. Yes. So,
Sir, one doubt, sir.
ah,
One department mentioned location, other department mentioned place something.
location ஒரு காலம் வரும், place ஒரு காலம். Do two things. இங்க வந்து மாத்தீங்க. Before consolidation. இங்க வந்து இங்க double click பண்ணி அது மாத்தி. So consolidate ஆகும்போது it will be perfect. No need to change it in Excel. Excel லே மாத்திட்டீங்கன்னா better. But if not there, Excel மாத்த முடியாது. அவங்க ஒரிஜினல் சோர்ஸ் அப்படிதான் வச்சுப்பாங்க. அப்படின்னா நீங்க you come to a power query here. இப்போ நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி இங்க அட்மின் டிபார்ட்மெண்ட்டுக்கு ஒருத்தர் DAPTன்னு போட்டிருக்க டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் இங்க டபுள் கிளிக் பண்ணி நேம் மாத்தி. Here you can change it. So consolidate பண்ணும்போது ப்ராப்பரா வந்து. Now go to this all department wise. Now tell me how do I select it? My system is 12, 8, 20, 26. So how can I select it now? First day, then month, then year, then transform, merge columns, separator is custom, and hyphen is my separator, and request date. When they have requested for this, request date. Few people didn't do the next step. So after this you cannot load it. What has to be done here? Select it, then transform, detect data type. Yes. Now it's correct. Which is detect column. If you have selected only this column, it will work for this column. If you have selected 4 columns, then detect it will work for 4. Based on how you are selecting. Sometimes I want all the 4 columns to be detected also, you can do it. Without selecting means only this, where your cursor is. If my cursor is here, it will detect only this. You have to select that column. Now, yes. Expenditure. There may be some decimals. Okay, then we don't have decimal, you can make it as a whole number also. 1 2 there is some decimals. Round off பண்ணிச்சு some small decimals இருந்திருக்கும். அதனால 1 2. Or if you don't want that 1 2, make it as a whole number. So you will get 1 2 3. And the 1.2 is decimals. Alphanumerical, yes. You are saying this only in the title. No, that's not a problem. Okay, now, yesterday I told you 4 things has to be checked in Power Query. First one, heading, green. Second one, heading. Third one, data type. Fourth one, I told, remove unwanted. So if there is unwanted row, you know how to remove it. You can go to Home tab, which we did yesterday, remove rows, and we can remove it. If there is unwanted columns, you can go to choose column and you can select unwanted columns. Now, challenge is, I have 5 tables. Could you tell me out of this 5 table, which table we are going to use it for our reporting? All department wise. So, I don't want this 4 table to be loaded into Excel. Why to unnecessarily load it? Each table is having 1 lakh, 2 lakh rows. Put together, I may have 10 lakh rows. Excel will not handle it. And each 2 lakh and combined put together, this may be 8 lakhs or 10 lakhs. So Excel may not handle that data. Even though the data is in Power Query. So I don't want to load all the 5 tables, but I want to load only 1 table. Can I delete it? No. You cannot delete it because These are all linked with this because when I add the data there, it will get appended here. So you cannot delete it also. So what can I do? I want to load only this data. I want to create a report based on only this table, not all the 5 tables. So what are we going to do now? Go to Home tab. First time, a small change here. 5th time we are using it, but a small change here. Go to close and load to. As usual, go to close and load to. Connection is okay. I want the connection. Connection is required. Connection. Please do not select this, add this data to data model. Please do not select it. But you can ask me, if I didn't select it, how can I create a report based on this? We'll see. So don't select it. If I select this, all the 5 table will be added to your data model. All the 5 table will be added. I don't want it. First time select only create connection. Okay. Now all the 5 tables are available. Tell me which table I want to create a report. All department wise. Right click this and go to load to now. Right click, load to, add this data model. Only this table has to be added to your data model. Other 4 tables, I need only the connection. Connection matter. I'm not going to create a report based on that 4 table. I'm going to create a report only on this last 5th table. That's a consolidation table. Other 4 tables, just a connection is enough. I don't want a report based on it. That's it. Say okay. Now you can see only that table is loaded into Excel. 200 rows is loaded. This is just a connect. Can I check this by creating a report? Or report create panni check panni pathrom. We will create a small report and check it. A chart or a table or whatever you want. Let us put a chart, or because I didn't create a chart for a long time. So let me close this. Insert pivot chart. Insert pivot chart. Use this workbook data model. Correct. Okay. Click on this pivot chart. You can see on the right hand side only one table is displayed. Only this table is displayed here. Other 4 tables are not displayed. Expand it. Maybe I want department wise. So let us put the department into access. I want to know the total amount. Each department is what is the total amount. Amount into values. Yes. Admin department, what is my total cost? For facilities, what is the total cost? Security, what is the total cost? Transport, what is the total cost? Each department wise, we got different cost. This is coming from 4 different sheets. All different sheets, we got one report here. Without writing formulas, without writing functions, no copy, no paste, nothing. Each sheet may have lakhs and lakhs of rows, but still this will work. How can I convert this into a pie chart? Could you tell me how can I convert this into a pie chart now? I have created a column chart. How do we convert it as a pie chart? Design, change chart type, make it as pie. Yes. Yeah. Other things you can do. These are all normal Excel. Go to the plus symbol, data label. I will add the data label. If you want to change the formula in pivot table, what we do is yesterday we did it, right click, show value as summarize value by. But unfortunately in chart, suppose I don't want the sum of total amount. I want the average of total amount. I want the count of total amount. How can I change it in chart is, you have to go to the value here, click on the arrow mark, then you have to go for value field settings. Very good. Value field settings. Here we have to change your formula because pivot table straight away right click it will work. In olden days pivot table also you have to do like this. Now in pivot table they have changed chart line. Maybe in near future they will do it. Just you can make a right click and you can change your formulas in chart also. But as of now it's not there. You have to go to this sigma value, go to the arrow mark, value field settings, and you can change your formula. Sum, count, average, maximum, minimum. So consolidation of multiple sheets. Okay. Next we'll see about files, lookups, file, save as, browse. Let me give a name. This is operation 09 admin operations with Power Query. One small thing which I should have told in the first session also, but no problem. But assume here my data is now residing in a particular folder, D drive, corporate training, company with Toshiba, Excel training, level 2. Tomorrow my location is changing. My system is formatted. Instead of D, I am putting in OneDrive. I am changing my drives. My file location has changed. So how can I establish the link? Suppose this location is different. Now it's not in D drive, it's in OneDrive or it's in SharePoint, some other area. How can I change that folder path now? Change it. My folder path is revised, changed. So go to Data tab. Under Data tab, go to Get Data. Below Get Data, the last but one, Data Source Settings. Data source setting. If the file location is changed, instead of D, we have moved it to D drive, so some other drive. Or I want to know where this source data is, from which location this source data is coming from. Data source settings. Now you can see it shows where is the original source. This is from D drive, this is my location, this is my file. Now my location has changed. Instead of D, I have changed into OneDrive. So change source. There is an option called as change source, where we can change your source. Browse and you can change it. Instead of D, we can put it as E, some other location also. If your location has changed, location change, sometimes they may format your system, they will change your drives, or even you will copy or you will move the file to some other location. Then you can change your drives. Now save and I close this. Next one is 10 employee. We have Kolkata, Chennai, HO, Mumbai, but assume we have some branches. We have 6 branches. Employees are working in all the 6 branches now. What I want you all to do it is close that employee data file, open a new file, Control N, open a new file. What I want you all to try is, yes, get and transform the data, append all the sheet into one sheet, all the sheet in the file named as 10 employee data. So there is a file called as employee data and sheets are there. Append all the sheets into one sheet. After appending the sheet, you have to do one more thing. In column called as branch. Branch in the column, wherever we have null, replace it with HO. And in the column called as retirement status, retirement age, sorry. Wherever there is a null, replace it with 58. Then load it. While loading, I should get only one table. Load agumbodhu ore or table dhaan load agum. I do not get 5 or 6 table loaded. Only one table should get loaded. So first to consolidate all the 6 sheet and make it as one sheet. Then replace wherever we have null under the column called as HO, replace it with null as HO. And wherever the retirement age is null, replace it with 58 and load the data. While loading the data, only one get loaded, not 6 or 7 tables. Get, transform, append. Column proofing based on entire data set. The loading to Excel, only one table should be loaded, not 7 tables or 8 tables. Connection, all the tables will have connection, but only one table should get loaded. You only have the Excel will select it. Unless you only select it. All the sheets will get. How many rows? 1,000? I know. Okay. 1,000. One double say down. Yes, sir. How many rows are there after loading? Employee data is not rows.
1558.
1558. How many rows are there? How many rows are there? One row. Okay, where is opening? This has to be load bono, load bono. Up and down load out. How many rows, sir?
Sir.
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 1558.
Sir.
1558. How many rows are there? No, load bono. Which one changes? Control keyboard. Control keyboard. RTM. Right click. Replace right. Now, wherever null has to be replaced with Okay.
Save is not required, sir, for this.
Save. At last, finally, you have to save it. After loading into Excel, save it. You can save it. Power Query, there is a button called as save. You can save it. Let me do this. I opened a new file. Data, get data from file, from Excel workbook. Which one is employee data? Import. So I click on employee data and I click on import. Select multiple items. How do we select all the 6 sheets together? Select the first sheet, shift key, select the last one. Select BLR, hold the shift key, Mumbai. Transform data. Make it as a practice, make it as a habit. Whenever you download the data from some other things, please check the column. It's a better thing always to check the column quality. Heading is correct, my data is correct, data type green. Yes. In Chennai also, correct. In HO, correct. Hyderabad, Kolkata, correct. Mumbai, right. Now, go to Home tab, append query as new. 3 or more tables. Mumbai is already appended, so I have to select BLR and Kolkata. Don't select Mumbai again because Mumbai is already appended. If you appended, you can remove it also. Add, and we can rearrange it. I can put Mumbai at the last or first or wherever you want. Okay. I don't know whether you have noticed in the question. In the question it was said that check the column proofing based on entire data set. Meaning, here whenever you see something like this, 999 rows, your data is having more than 1000 rows. So, but it will check only with the first 1000 rows. Yesterday itself we have seen that. As of now, from the morning we didn't see a data more than 1000. But here it's more than 1000. So it's better if it is more than 1000, check the entire data. Because in branch I am getting the gray. But when I go to the retirement age, there is no gray here. But first 1000 rows, there is no gray. So let me go to column proofing based on top. Instead of top, I will make it as entire data set. Now I am getting some grays. Maybe after 1000 rows, there may be some gray. That's why I asked you, it's always better to check the entire data set if your row is more than 1000. Okay. Now what they asked for is, so on the bottom you can see this column proofing. By default, always the column proofing will be for only 1000 rows. Yesterday we discussed this. So it's always better if the data is more than 999 means data is more than 1000. So better to check with the entire data set. Click here and select this. Entire data set. 1000 மேல இருந்தாலே அது ஒரு better practice to check the entire data set. Okay. Now wherever in branch, right click, replace value. Wherever we have null, I think in the branch name there is no column called as, in HO we don't have the column called as branch. Make it as HO. Okay. And some employees, they would have not entered the retirement age. So that's why it's null. Right click. Go to replace value. Null has to be replaced with 58. Okay. Right. Let me give a name for this append one. I will rename it. Double click. Let us give a name. This is employee master. All my employee records are available here. So I have given a name called as employee master.
Whatever column you here we select 40,000 rows.
Hmm.
How is it modified to let's see
No, it always loads the entire sheet. This is only for quality checking. Whether there is a gray or green. Only for the quality checking. As I told you yesterday, you are producing 10,000 products. I am checking only 1,000, but I load everything. For checking, we are 1,000. But my suggestion is always better to check with the entire data. Always better. Now, tell me what is my next step. Home tab. Close and load. Close and load to. If you next topic, you are going to suggest me what are all the options to be selected here. Now tell me what is the option to be selected. Only create connection. Add this data model. No. Okay. Then right click on the employee master and go to load to. Add this data to data model. Okay.
So after this, if it's want to change the maybe head office or maybe not head office.
Go to Power Query. How can I go to Power Query? Double click. Anytime you can come to Power Query and you can make some changes. Now, come to Power Query. Come to Power Query. Last session we have seen how to combine the data. Now we will see one more. How to separate the data. Last session, date, month, year. We have selected, we have combined date, month, year. We have combined together into one. Now for an example, let us have this email address, email ID. From email ID, I want to separate only the name. For example, I have mitra.s@excel.com, vaidya.gh@excel.com. I don't want that excel.com. I want only the name, or I want only that excel.com to be separated. So, either you have to separate it in the same area or you have to separate it in some other area. First you have to decide it. If you have to separate it here itself, I want only the name. I don't want the excel.com here itself. Then we have to go for. If I want to get it in some other area, we have to go to add column. If you want to do it in same area, we have to go for transform. For a change, I will go with that add column because I don't want to disturb this email ID. I want this output, maybe only the names, mitra.s, vaidya.gh. I want only the names in another column. Just for example, I want the name in another column. So go to add column. Last session, we have seen how to combine it. Now we are going to see how to separate it. Extract. There is extract, length, first character, last character, range. First character means first 3 digits, last 3 digits. From 2 to 3 can be separated. Text before delimiter, text after the delimiter, text between the delimiter. Now I want only the names. Mitra.s, Vaidya.ds, Satya.j. I want only the names. So tell me which option I can select now here. Text before delimiter because I want only the names. Text before delimiter. Extract text before delimiter. What is the delimiter? At is my delimiter. That's all. Say okay. You can notice on a separate column at the last, it has created, I think text before, before I should have selected before. I selected unknowingly, I selected after. Okay. So select it, go to extract text before delimiter. What is a delimiter? Delimiter is at. And I say okay. Maybe at the last you can see it gives only the names. Extract. Okay. These are all the things in Excel. We have to use some formula, left, right, mid, text to columns. Why I am doing it in Power Query is, if you do it once, it will get updated automatically. Okay. With the help of this, maybe the column called as designation and department. What I want you to do it is in the same column, not in some other column. Transform the column named as designation and department as shown below. I don't want general manager within bracket GM. So I want only GM, AM, SC, AM, only that short names. Department DEV, MM, PP, MKT. The two columns, both the columns to be separated in the same area. Not in different area, same area. Both. The designation department. Designation department.
Sir,
Transform column, not add column. Okay. Actually, you can do together or you can do separately. 2 times you can do it or you can do it together also. For example, I'll select both the designation and department, both together. Then transform, not add. Transform. Add it will create extra column. I don't want to extra column. I want transform. Then extract length, first, last, range. Let us go for text between delimiter. I am setting both together. And what is a delimiter is open bracket, close bracket. Between that bracket, between that open bracket and close bracket, I want it. Say okay. Yes. So we got only GM, AM. If you want to change the column ordering, suppose I want the salary should come before this. That's very simple. You can make a right click and there is an option of move left to right, beginning, end. Or you can very simply drag and drop also. Suppose I want the salary should come before the retirement, before the department designation, drag it and drop it here. In Excel, it can be in any order. But here also you can modify your order. Just drag and drop right click and move. There is an option of right clicking, moving left, right, beginning, end, to the first, to the last, left hand side, right hand side also you can move it. And drag and drop also can be done. Home tab, close. I already loaded it, so straight away I can close and load. No need for going add arrow and close and load because already it's loaded. Close and load. Now with the help of this, maybe I think only employee master will get loaded because other things we have created only the connection. Now the last one in this exercise is very simple. Create a chart, maybe a pie chart, branch wise, count of employee, how many employees are there in each branch, branch wise count of employees. Create a pie chart, branch wise count of employees. Five. Pie chart. Found it. But why you doing some? How many meters count? Count. Just come in the last section. Then. Okay. Insert pivot chart. Okay. Let me close this query connection. Employee master branch, I'll put it into access. Employee number, I'll put it into sigma, but it's showing the column chart. I don't want column chart, I want a pie chart. Design, change chart type, pie. But one more thing here. How can I change the sum into count? You can click here, go to value field settings. A new feature which is available if you are using this data through Power Query. Normal Excel, you would have not seen this. Count is there, but when I scroll down, you can see there is one more thing available called as distinct count. This will not be available. Only through Power Query this distinct count is available. Could you tell me what is the distinct count? What is the difference between count and distinct count? Any idea? எது இல்லை எது டிஸ்டிங் கவுண்டா கவுண்டா கவுண்ட் என்ன பண்ணும் ரொம்ப சிம்பிள் வாட் இஸ் செட் இஸ் கரெக்ட் distinct count will count only the unique values count will count the duplicate values also இப்போ ஒரு எம்ப்ளாயிக்கு அது நடக்காது பட் ஸ்டில் if same employee number is repeated multiple times so இப்போ 1001 அப்படின்னு ஒரு எம்ப்ளாயி அதே எம்ப்ளாயி தெரியாம இன்னொரு தடவை ரிப்பீட் ஆயிருக்குன்னா இது ரெண்டு எம்ப்ளாயின்னு எடுத்துக்கும் when you say count but distinct count even though twice it will count it as only one. When you count the invoice number, when you count the bill number, you have to go for distinct count. Don't go for count. Same invoice number can have multiple. One invoice number I would have repeated multiple items. So bill number, employee number, whatever you count, always prefer to go with the distinct count. Distinct count is correct. Distinct count will not work in normal Excel. It will work only through Power Query. Power Query மூலமா நம்ம பண்ணதுனால தான் distinct count work ஆகும். If you create a pivot table now also, suppose I create a pivot table, insert a pivot table from data model and I say okay, maybe I want to know department wise what is the count of employees, each department wise what is the count of employees. So let us the department name into rows and I'll put the employee number into sigma, right click, summarize value by. Now you can see there is an option called as distinct count. Normal pivot table this distinct count will not be available. Power Query மூலமா through Power Query we have used it, that's why this distinct count is available here. Distinct count is always correct. Excel will not do that. Excel will just count it. Duplicate or not duplicate will be counted. That's not right method. Duplicate should not be counted. You have to count only the unique values. So distinct count. So each department, how many employees are there? Okay. File, save as, browse. And I give a name. I think this is 10 employee data with Power Query. So very easily you can consolidate multiple sheets, combining the columns, splitting the columns without writing formulas and functions. Now we are going to step into the next powerful feature. இன்னொரு பவர்ஃபுல்லான ஒரு feature பார்க்க போறோம். We are going to see the next powerful feature. Believe me or not, 10-15 years before, I have spent around 4 months for discussion, 2 months for writing a coding, or 6 months actually to do this, but we can very easily do it now using this Power Query. 10 is over, but where is that 11? That 11 is a separate folder. Yesterday you have downloaded that folder, 11 orders. 11 orders no folder. Please open that folder. 11 orders. I can see around 6 files are there. Files. Order 2020, 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25. I am getting this data from 6 years. 6 years data has been downloaded. It can be 6 years, 6 months, 6 days, 6 weeks. Every day I'm downloading some data. Every month I'm downloading some data. Every year I'm downloading the data. And I'm putting all the downloaded data into a folder. So let me open a data and check. I'll open this order 2020. When I open it, and I can see there are some columns: order ID, region name, order date, order. This is a small table. So this table is having only the details, all the details of 2020, year 2020. Okay, and I close this. And I open another file. And remember, it's not an Excel file, it's a CSV file. Most of the downloaded data will be in CSV. நிறைய பேர் CSV தான் டேட்டாவை டவுன்லோட் பண்ணுவோம். Reason is CSV doesn't occupy more space, and CSV can be opened in any format. It's not required to have a software for it. Excel software is required, but CSV can open it in any software. Suppose I want to open this in a notepad, WordPad, PDF, web browser. I'll right click this 2021 and I can see open with, I can open with the notepad. I can open with the web browser. I can open with the PDF files also, notepad. Still that file will open. That's the advantage of this CSV. That's why when you download the data from SAP, ERP or some other source, it always will be in a CSV format. Comma separated value. So comma separated value. Now what are we going to do is, we are going to consolidate all these 5 files and make it as one file. And one more thing, this data is 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Tomorrow I may get 20, 25, 26 data, this year data. And next year data, 27, 28, like this, I will upload the data here and it should get consolidated automatically. That's what we are going to do now. Very simple, but very powerful. I've seen more people are, after this training session, more people, I believe you also will start using this. Open Excel. Let me open an Excel file. New file. 7th time we are going to do this. Data. Get data. Tell me. From file. Which option? CSV. There is CSV. But there is a small challenge in CSV. When I go to from file or CSV, text CSV, if you go to that folder orders, unfortunately, I am able to select only one file at a time. So multiple files cannot be selected. Even I am trying to use the control key, shift key, I cannot do it. And I told you, tomorrow I may add one more data also. Better not to go for CSV. Get data from file, folder. From a folder. It can be a Windows folder, even it can be a SharePoint folder. Some people, most of the people in corporates, they are using SharePoint also. In SharePoint, they can have the folder, common folder as a SharePoint. So they can put their files into SharePoint folder also. Your wish. So now we don't have it in online, we have it in offline Windows folder. Get data from file, from folder, and select that folder. Don't go inside the folder. Select only that folder. 11 orders. 11 orders. That's my folder name. Select only that folder. Don't select the other folder. Don't go. Some people will go inside the folder. Nothing will be there. So you have to select only that folder. 11. 11 orders. Open. 11 orders. Let me open it. All the files available in that folder will be displayed. Now I have 4 options: combine, load, transform, cancel. Tell me what can I do now? Combine and transform. This one first. But I believe yesterday itself I told this. I always prefer to go with transform. Why? Because if there is some problem, if there is a error, I want to add some data, I want to remove some data, I want to clean up, it's always better to go with the transform. My suggestion is always prefer to go with transform. I will go to transform now. Instead of states, because tomorrow I may add a new data, I may remove some data also. So better to go with the transform. All the tables available, or files available in the transform, in the folder is displayed here. Now, for an example, here we have CSV. Assume tomorrow in the same folder I have Excel, in same folder I have PDF, same folder I have document, same folder I have PowerPoint. Multiple files are available in the same folder. But I want to combine only the CSV. So what I can do, under the extension, there is a filter button available. So I don't want Excel or PDF to be combined. I want only CSV, because in that folder I may have multiple files also. So I can go to this arrow mark and I can filter only CSV. Only CSV can be filtered. There is an option of filtering only CSV. Or I don't want all the 6 sheets to be combined. I don't want 2020 to be combined. I want to remove it from my combining. So you can go to the filter and you can remove the 2020 also. So whichever you want, you can have it. Whichever you don't want, you can remove it from filter. Either you can remove it from the extension or you can remove it from the name. That's why I came to Power Query. Now I want all the files to be combined. So I'm not clearing anything. All the files has to be combined. When I go to the Home tab, under Home tab, when I go to the Home tab, below the Home tab, there is a group called as Combine. In the group of Combine, there is an option called as Combine Files. But unfortunately, in my system, that Combine file is graded out. It's deactivated. Why it's graded out, why it's deactivated is because my cursor is outside this content area. I came out of the content area, that's why it's graded out. So place the cursor on this, maybe top on this content area. Now this combine is activated. You have to place somewhere else on the top of this. Don't go here and make a click, it will create some extra steps. Don't do it. Place the cursor on the top, or you can place the cursor anywhere. You can place the cursor anywhere. And on the combine, see what is the icon available for the combine. 2 down arrows. There is 2 down arrows. Same 2 down arrow will be available here also. This combine. Both are same. If this combine is activated, click it. If the combine is not activated, click on this 2 down arrow. Both are same. Both will route into the same area. Both will land into the same area. Let me click on Combine Files. Now it will show you the preview. File a preview comico. So my first file, you can click on second file, third file. You can see the preview here. If you have already seen the preview, okay, and I have already seen the preview, so that's fine. By default, normal Power Query will check the column quality with first 1000 rows, but here it will check only with the first 200 rows. If you want to check with the entire data set, your wish. I think it will take some time because there are 6 sheets, entire data, it may take some time also. As of now, it's better to check the entire data set, but as of now, I will go with the first 200 rows. Delimited, comma separate, correct. That's why this is called as CSV, comma separated value. Don't worry about this file origin. It automatically takes based on how the file was saved. And the file in the CSV format, Western, Europe, Windows. We don't worry about this. This will be taken care by, don't change anything. This will be taken care by Power Query itself. Now I checked my data. Skip file with error. Do not select it. If a file is error, suppose there is one error in one single row. Suppose this file is having an error in one single row. The entire file will get skipped. That file will not get loaded. If there is an error, show me the error. I will solve it. That's why we are using the Power Query. Show me the red, show me the green, show me the gray. So don't select it. Don't select the file with the error. Don't select that. Skip file with the, don't select it. That's all. Now simply say, okay. Yes, it will take some time. It will evaluate something, not very long time. It will evaluate and it will consolidate all the 6 files into one file. Now it has consolidated all the 6 files into one file. How do I know? You can scroll down and check. First I have 2020. After 2020 data is over, you will get 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. But I feel it's very tougher because every sheet may have 1 lakh, 2 lakh rows. I cannot scroll down and check. So what do you do? It has created an extra column called as source name, where this file is coming from. So go to the source name, filter, click on filter. But unfortunately in filter, I am getting only two, 20, 20, 20, 20. What happened to others? It's there. It says the list is incomplete. It's there because 20, 20, 20, 20 put together crossed more than 1000. It always displays only first 1000. So go to load more. Yes, all the 6 years are available. 2020, 2021, 2022, 23, 24, 25. All the 6 sheets we have combined into one sheet. No formula, no function, no copy paste, nothing. You have to open all the 6 files. Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. It takes more time. We didn't open the file. It has already come. Still it's not over. We have one more advantage also. No, very advantage. We'll see that. Done? Clear? Any challenges? Now, tell me this. Home tab, close and load. Sorry, I'll close this filtering. Home tab, close and load. Close and load to. Now, what has to be done here? Only create connection. Add this data model. Add this data model to be selected. We have only one table there. That table has to be loaded. Otherwise, how do we create a report? That table has to be loaded. 5 sheets we have combined into one sheet. I want only master sheet. Here only one master sheet is available. Only one master file. That has to be loaded. Please select it. If you are not selected, afterwards also you can select it. No problem. Okay. Yes. 3660 rows has been loaded from 6 files. 6 files. Let me check with creating the report. I will create a report and I will check whether it's working fine or not. Close this query connection. Close this query connection. Place the cursor on some empty cell. Insert. Pivot chart. Pivot chart. Insert pivot. I'm just going to put a chart and I'm going to check. Pivot chart and pivot chart. Okay. Let me put the order date. Select the chart because order date. Date wise it's in different file, right? 20, 20, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. File. That's why I'm checking with the order date. Bring the order date to access. Order amount to value. Yes. So 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 25. So 6 years data we have combined and we have made it as one report. Now the real challenge, not a challenge, real advantages. Just watch here. This folder, we had 6 files. All the 6 files has been combined into one file. Come to the main folder. Wantedly for checking kaga wantedly, there is a separate file called as order 2026. Wanted on the file. Assume that or think that, imagine that I have downloaded this file today. Nama in the file இன்னைக்கு தான் download பண்ணேன். Just imagine that I have downloaded this file today. In the morning I have downloaded this file. So this file, cut it or copy it, Control X, or right click and cut this file, cut it, go to that folder, 11 orders, cut that file, go to that 11 orders, paste it, Assume I have downloaded this file today, இன்னைக்கு தான் download பண்ணிருக்கேன், and I am putting that file into this folder. Now to come to Excel, go to pivot chart, analyze, then refresh. 2026 has came here. Very 26 now. From today, download the data, put it into the folder. That's all you have to do it. Even this refresh also, you can make it as scheduled refresh. Go to, I told you today morning, yesterday also, data, query connection. Right click on this, then properties. Refresh every 60 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you want. So no need to refresh also. Even if you forget to refresh also, it will get refreshed every 60 minutes. Every day I am downloading a data. Download it and put it into a folder. It can be a CSV, it can be a text, it can be a Excel, it can be a PDF. Only is your data should be in a table format. That's all. If your data is in table format, any data you can consolidate it like this. Very simple, very easy. As I indicated, already we have wasted 16 years. Don't waste your time in using normal copy paste, formulas, functions. Try to use more of Power Queries. அப்போ நீங்கள் பேஸ்ட் பண்ணது வேற ஒரு ஃபோல்டராக இருக்கும், நீங்கள் லிங்க் பண்ணது வேற ஒரு ஃபோல்டராக இருக்கும். நாங்கள் வந்து பார்த்தோன்னா பழைய ஸ்கோரை திரும்ப வாங்கிடுவேன். ரைட்டா? வரட்டுமா? மைனஸ் அவர் தான் லீடிங்கில் இருக்கார், வாங்கிடலாம். Now tell me, one file, I have some extra column called as, and now in 2026 I added a column called as discount, but other years we don't have the discount column. Enna irukum? It would have added a discount column, other data it will be a null. Replace it with 0. Adhiyum Power Query le pannidunga, then it will be
Sir, we can maintain same.
null. But when you total it, there will be a problem. Suppose you want to find average, you want to find a percentage, then there will be a problem. Null will throw an error. Better to replace it with 0. You can have it as null, but report create பண்ணும்போது there will be challenge. So let me save this file. Save as, browse. Don't give it as orders because order is a folder name. let me say 11 order master. So where we have all the order master records. So from now, whatever the data you are downloading, put it into that folder. If the columns are similar, the columns are not similar, that we are going to see it in the afternoon. The columns are, I have 5 tables, all the columns are different. We have common columns, how to consolidate. That are all the things we are going to see it in the afternoon. But next one, I closed this file, open a fresh new file. What are you going to do is, yes, get and transform all the text file. If I go to the same folder, நீங்கள் காலையிலேருந்து நேற்றுலேருந்து ஒர்க் பண்ணுறீங்களா அந்த ஃபோல்டரில் there are some text files. August, December, August 2025, December 2025, November 2025, October 2025, September 2025. So these files are available. These are all the files. August, December 2025, November 20, all these files as I want to consolidate it and make it as one file. But the challenge is without creating a folder. That's a challenge. Don't create a separate folder. Don't create a separate folder. I never don't use folder. Get data from folder, that's okay, but don't create a new folder. புது folder create பண்ணக்கூடாது. Don't create a new folder, but consolidate all this file. And I want output like this. How the output is shown on the bottom. கீழே இருக்கு பாருங்க output அந்த மாதிரி தான் வரும். Yes. Without creating a folder. My output should be shown on the bottom of this one. Combine it. Combine. Folder. Get data from folder. Get data from folder. Don't create a folder. I never tell you. Combine it. Filter பண்ணிட்டீங்க. Combine பண்ணி. Folder set. Main folder set. Combine. Output should be like this. Combine. Output here combine. Source name, date, solid product. After this, output should be combined. The filters are combined.
We need to select the text version only.
Transform. Then after this.
Yes, here I select only the text.
Then after combine it. I want the output like this. பத்து நிமிஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி பண்ணது. Okay. But always it's better to create a folder. But here I asked you not to create a folder, but let us try that. I'll open a Excel file. Data, get data, from file, from folder. Select that main folder itself, the main folder, because I didn't create any folder. In that main folder you will have many files, Excel, CSV, text file, any file. Select the entire folder. All the files available in the folder is displayed. All the file available in the folder is displayed. Go to transform. This clue I have given it in the last session only. Now what I want is, I want only the text file. This August, this December, November should be combined. So let us go to the, could you tell me which is the best one? I can go here, extension, and I can select only txt. This is one method. Another method, I'm not saying the easiest one, which is the best one. This is one method. Another method is, you can go to the name. Under name, you can select only that 4 files or 5 files. This one, August, and this December, and this November, this October. Which is the best one here? Easiest one would ring. This can be toughest one, that's the easiest one. But which is the best one here? Extension poi select பண்ணது best ஆ, file poi select பண்ணது best? Why? Where the file now? Suppose if I want the January month here, suppose I am uploading the January month data and February month data. So then I think this is better. Suppose next month I am going to add January month, February month, same format, it will get updated. But you should not have, you should not have one more text file, different data, then it will get confused. So if the January, February month data you are going to add, then it's better to go with text files. So say okay. Now tell me how can I combine it? 90% எல்லாரும் இதுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் stuck ஆயிட்டீங்க. I don't know. So you have filtered it. You have to combine it. How can I combine? There is a button called as combine files, but that combine is grayed out, deactivated. So what can I do now? Next to the content there is a down arrow, combine. That's all. Now it will evaluate. It will show you the preview. If you are okay with the preview, okay, that's all. Now it has combined all the text file into file. That's all. Combining of sheet is easier. Combine of file is very, very easier. Sheet order file romba easy. Just add the data from now, put it into a folder, just add the data, it will be getting combined very easy. Load. Home tab, close and load it to. And only create connection. For a change, can I put a table and check? Table put papama empty. Just table load out. It will be loaded as a Excel table. If you want to try that also, you can try. If you feel the data is very small, very table on I don't recommend this. If the table is too large, I don't recommend it. Always better to put with only connection. But I will just for change I will put a table and check how it's working. So I select table and I say okay, yes. It will be loaded as a table itself, like a normal Excel table. So all the columns will get loaded here. So now if I add a new text file, refresh, that file will get updated here. So just to put the data into that particular folder, it will get updated here. That's all. File, save as, browse, we'll give a name for it. I think these are all the combination of text file. 11 is over. I think this is 12. 12 is also done. 12 is just I'll say combining the text file. So we have combined the text file. My recommendation is better to create a separate folder and do it. That's always better. One tiny folder create panni adla files podunga. Adha nalla practice. But here we have seen without creating the folder. C is also a folder. Drive is a folder. OneDrive is a folder. But best practice is create a folder and put all the files into that folder. That's the best practice. So tomorrow when you add the data, it will get updated automatically. Right? So from the morning, what we are doing is we are working with only the identical data. ஒரே மாதிரி இருக்க data தான் we are working from the morning from yesterday. Yesterday we have seen only one sheet. Today we have seen multiple sheets, multiple files which is identical. But the next one, maybe we'll start this, we cannot complete it, we'll start at least. 13 part sales tracker. There is something called as 13 part sales tracker. When I open that 13 part sales tracker, 2 sheets are available. Zone name, part number, planned year quantity, Q1 quantity, Q2 quantity, Q3 quantity, Q4 quantity. This is sheet number 1. When I go to the next sheet, part master, where we have part number, material type, category, part name, a quantity, reorder level, lead time, drawing number, unit of measures, rate, last receipt date, last review date. Unfortunately here the columns are not identical. Columns are different here. Both are having different data. Now what are we going to try here is, I want to sum up this Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. That's very easy. Sum பண்ணிக்கலாம் Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 and I want year quantity here. After this, I want to multiply the year quantity with the rate. So multiply with the year quantity with the rate. So here I want year quantity, this column, the next column, first I want year quantity. After getting that year quantity, I want to multiply that year quantity with the rate. Unfortunately, the rate is not available here. Rate is available in the next column, next sheet. In the sheet, the rate is available. The rate is available here. Right? So I want to bring the rate here. What we will do? How can I bring the rate here? I don't know what is this rate of this part number. How can I bring the rate here? Look up. We have to go for a look up. What is the common column between it? In the sheet and the sheet in a common column. Part number. So based on the part number, we'll write a lookup and we'll do it. Last session when you came for the last Excel training last week, I would have told that stop using VLOOKUP, start using XLOOKUP. But today I am saying stop using XLOOKUP itself. XLOOKUP must stop on it. Without writing VLOOKUP, without writing XLOOKUP, how can I bring it? Here we have one common column, okay. Suppose, just I'm explaining what we are going to do in the afternoon. Next sheet, for example, I'll take the maintenance composite. Just for example, here I don't have a common column because equipment ID, it's repeating. E001, E001, it's repeating here. In Chennai, we have E001. I want to compare both this equipment master. When you go to the equipment master, E001 is available in Chennai, E001 is available in Hosur, E001 is available in Pune. So here we don't have a common column. So I want to compare two things, equipment and plant. Here also I want to compare equipment and plant. Two columns we cannot write XLOOKUP. XLOOKUP is not possible. XLOOKUP will compare with only one column. Part number, one part number, we can compare it. If you have multiple columns, XLOOKUP will not compare. And if I go to the next thing, for example, I'll go to the sales and sales order and delivery. Sometimes ordering is done, order பண்ணிட்டோம். Some orders still the delivery doesn't happen. What are all the orders still it was not delivered. Sometimes the delivered was done, but I didn't raise the sales order. Sales order raised பண்ணவில்லை, but material was delivered. Or sales order is raised and material is delivered. I want to find it out. You cannot do it in normal Excel. We cannot write a VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP, any formula. You cannot do it. I'm saying it's impossible, but still do this in Power Query. The next bigger challenge is, maybe I'll open the last file, business transaction. I have 5 or 6 sheets, invoice, invoice trans, customer, location. Combination of all the 5 sheets, I want to create one report. In the 5 sheetiyum combine பண்ணி, I want to create a report. No lookup, no formula, no function. There is a concept called as relationship. Using the relationship, you can combine all the 5 tables and very easily you can create a report. So these are all the things which we are going to learn in the afternoon. Very simple, very powerful. எல்லாம் பார்க்கிறதுக்கு ரொம்ப டஃபா இருக்கும், but easy to use. No formula, no function. As of now, I think we avoided 2 formulas in Excel. Could you tell me what is the 2 formula we have avoided from the morning? ரெண்டு இது அவாய்ட் பண்ணிட்டோம். Without writing formula, we did it in Power Query. 2 things. ரெண்டு விஷயம். One is combining 2 columns. Excel we have to use concatenation, ampersand. Another one is separating 2 columns, splitting, and with the separator, with the first letter, last letter. இன்னொன்று கூட இருக்கு. Sometimes the purchase order number, we have number and text. I want only the text to be separated. Text நடுவுல இருக்கும், in between இருக்கும், and I want the alphabetical character to be separated. That are all the things available here. Writing the if function. Without writing formulas and function, we can write the if function, addition, multiplication, subtraction, everything we can do, but no formulas. Without writing any formulas and function. Formulas, functions, இல்லாமலே பண்ணும். As of now, I think from yesterday till now, we never written any formulas. In the afternoon session also, we are not going to write any formulas. With all your cooperation, I think we have completed exercise number 12. Another 8 exercises are available, which is very simple, very easy. If you are going in the same pace, I think we can finish it very easily. All are very simple concept here. Okay, so we'll start that exercise number 13 probably after our lunch break. Okay, so I will stop that video recording. Afternoon